In a previous video, I've highlighted this Chrome plugin called Postselected. I think it's such an interesting tool. What it does is it allows you to select some text, right-click on it, click on Postselected, and that'll actually send that text as well as the URL and title of the page through a webhook. Now, once you capture that information, you can do whatever you want with it. This is a make automation that I've set up. And originally, my automation simply populated a Google Doc based on whatever I highlighted. And the more I started using the tool, the more I thought it would be really useful to be able to actually categorize specific text to go into different Google Docs. For example, I'm always looking at interesting things about AI, and I like to collect those as in an AI notes doc. But if they're a use case for AI, I want them in a different Google Doc. If there's something about writing, I'm constantly trying to improve my writing, I want that in a different Google Doc, and anything that doesn't fall within those categories can just go into other, and I can manually move them later on. And I actually emailed the developer. I was like, I hope one day you can, provide the opportunity, different webhooks. And I thought about it and I was like, no, this is a perfect opportunity for AI to actually help categorize the text and move that accordingly. So here we have the automation. We're using Anthropic's Claude 3 Haiku. And I love this model. It is so quick and it is so cheap. It is so cheap. So I don't mind feeding heaps of stuff through that and actually just asking it to do an analysis of the text and categorize it by AI, writing, life, or unknown. I've given it a couple of examples of each. And based on that output, I have different conditions. So if it's AI, we're inserting it into the AI article, and then we're using another Anthropic module to identify if it's a specific AI use case. Some of the AI content is simply knowledge, but some is use cases that I want added to a different doc. So if it is, then it runs past this last filter and gets added there. If it's writing, it gets added to a different Google Doc, and other gets added to another. So let's run this and let's actually give it a go so you can see. I've got this great article here by Lenny Rachitsky, and he asked on Twitter and LinkedIn for examples of how people are using custom GPTs in their work environment. And it's a great article. And within here, I've already highlighted a few that I thought were really interesting. Here we've got one. I made a CEO coach GPT that I've trained on podcasts and books from my favorite business leaders so I can ask it questions and advice. Works well. I think this is such a great example of a custom GPT, and I want to store that. So I'm just going to right click and click on Post Selected, and you'll see that this is going to trigger this webhook. Anthropic's identified that it is an AI, and Anthropic identified it was also an AI use case and added that to my Google Doc. So I think this is going to be an ever-evolving automation, and I look forward to sharing it with you as it continues to grow. As always, if you've got any questions, please feel free to ask. And if you've got any use cases for this, I'd love to hear from you. So drop them in the comments below. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you in the next video.